In a dimly lit interrogation room, the air hung heavy with tension. Detective Mark Bradley leaned back in his chair, staring intently at the suspect, Alex. Mark had dealt with numerous cases throughout his career, but the moral dilemma he faced now was unlike any other. Alex was suspected of masterminding a series of robberies that had terrorized the city for months. Evidence pointed towards him, but the key detail to crack the case, a confession, was still missing. Feeling the pressure from his superiors and the public's demand for quick justice, Mark found himself contemplating a path he had always avoided: the use of torture. He recalled the words of his mentor, an old-school detective. Sometimes, you have to get your hands dirty to get the truth. As he wrestled with his conscience, Mark imagined the scenario if Alex was indeed innocent. The thought of inflicting pain on an innocent man made him shudder. Yet, the possibility that a hardened criminal might evade justice haunted him equally. In an attempt to find a solution, Mark called for a private meeting with his trusted colleague, Sarah. A shrewd detective with an impeccable record, Sarah listened carefully to Mark's predicament. "Mark," Sarah said thoughtfully, "I've seen both sides of this argument throughout my career. But let's remember, any evidence obtained through torture is not just morally wrong, but also inadmissible in court. It could jeopardize our entire case." Sarah's words resonated with Mark. He realized that even if torture momentarily satisfied the urge to solve the case, it would ultimately undermine the justice they sought. Determined to uphold the moral high ground, Mark decided to focus on meticulous investigative work and finding evidence through legitimate means. He redoubled his efforts to gather corroborative evidence, interview witnesses, and employ psychological profiling. As the days passed, the true picture began to emerge, pointing to a different suspect who had cleverly framed Alex. With this breakthrough, Mark was able to clear Alex's name and apprehend the real perpetrator without compromising his principles. In the end, Detective Mark Bradley realized that the path of integrity, though challenging, led to justice that was not only served but also preserved the dignity of the law.